Hello and welcome. This is my 2021 Mongoose Dolomite ALX. And man, I've been having a lot of fun with this bike for an initial purchase price of $498. In fact, I'm still running the stock 2x8 drivetrain. It even still has the stock dork disc. I know, I should have gotten rid of that a long time ago. I just didn't bother. But I figured it was about time that I started doing something about this. So, using parts I had on hand, I was going to upgrade it from a 2x8 to a 2x9 with a much wider low gear. Well, things didn't go exactly according to plan. I'll get to that in a bit. To begin with, I needed the new cassette. Well, I say new, it's used. New to the bike, put it that way. The new corresponding derailleur, the trigger shifter, and since I'm doing it, might as well throw in a new cable. The tools to do a job like this are actually pretty minimal. You need a good-sized wrench, you need a chain whip, you need a cassette removal tool. These are both park tools. One's an FR1, one's an FR2. And the only difference is the depth of the ribbing. And lastly, you'll need a set of Allen wrenches. Now, every single time I take a cassette off a wheel, I'm mentally prepared for a fight, particularly based upon some of the older bikes I've done. And freewheels are even worse. So every time it comes off easily like this, I am pleasantly surprised, and you'd think I would get used to it after a while. But I don't know, it's just my nature to look for trouble. Once the old cassette is off, it's time to put the new one on, and that's really not any kind of a problem at all. You just got to line up the splines, and if a free hub, the splined portion, will accept an 8-speed cassette, it will accept a 9 and a 10-speed as well, and sometimes, depending upon the nature of the cassette, you can even swing an 11 on one of these. I have not tried that on this bike, but I did put an 11 speed on my Specialized rock hopper, no problemo. Anyway, once the wheel was ready, the next step was to start taking apart all the shifting mechanisms. Taking off the old shifter was really no problem. Just I'm leaving things hanging here because why not use the stuff that's working, like the outers. And pulling out the old inner cable was no problem whatsoever. Threading the new one in using a brand new cable was also pretty easy. It's a little more problematic sometimes if you're using a used cable because the ends can be a little bit frayed and they'll start hanging up on stuff. And that's why, if you can, go with a new one. It saves you a lot of headaches. So, once I had the cables run, it was time to remove the old derailleur. Now, this Microshift M26 has worked perfectly the whole time I've had it. I'm not doing this upgrade because I'm having any issues with the stock drivetrain. I just can't leave anything alone. So, put the new, again, used derailleur on, and reassemble the chain with a quick link and get ready to index. Here's where I ran into a problem. The Shimano trigger shifter is apparently incompatible with the Microshift derailleur. I hadn't really thought about that, to be honest. So I went and I grabbed the old Altus, Advent, that came with this derailleur, and it had a cable that was too short, so I put a new cable in it, and son of a gun, I could not get that thing to ratchet properly. So then I tried a Sram NX that I had. It's an 11 speed. I figured, well, better too many than too few. Oh my gosh, that was just totally ineffective. I think the pull ratio on the Sram was no more amenable to the Microshift derailleur than the Shimano one was. So at at the end of the day, what I am left with is functionally a 7-speed bike. Wait a minute, I'm going in the wrong direction here. Well, it's not the end of the world, and this is how you learn things. This is how I've learned a lot of what I know about working on bikes, is by making mistakes and figuring out workarounds. In this case, there was no workaround, so I am going to bite the bullet and go with plan B and get myself a matching derailleur and shifter. Probably off Amazon, but we'll see where I can get the best deal. So, mixed results. I will be back with this bike in good working order after I get the parts I need, so stay tuned. And in the meantime, there is a playlist linked lower left for the Dolomite. Again, I love this bike. It's a hoot and a half. And lower left, there's a link to another video that I think you'll enjoy. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you have learned a little something here through my mistakes, and we'll see if I can get this thing going. Goodbye, and have a wonderful day.